Throughout the 80s, organized crime leader John Gotti was known for his bombastic personality and his role as head of the infamous Gambino crime family. But even after Gotti died in jail in 2002, his offspring have gained notoriety of their own. Here's a look at what the life is like for the Gotti family now. Gotti's oldest son, John Gotti Jr., initially followed in his father's footsteps.
That's old school, and that's the way I was raised.
According to the New York Times in 1999, Jr. was found guilty of various mob-related crimes and sentenced to prison. After his 2004 release, he faced 4 separate trials on racketeering charges, though he was never found guilty. By 2010, he claimed that he'd made the decision to, quote, leave the life during his first stint in prison. Lately, Jr. has been focused squarely on legitimate income streams. He released a book, Shadow of My Father, in 2015, and reportedly served as an advisor on the 2017 biopic Gotti.
I said a lot of things that could get a lot of people in trouble.
Jr. now lives in Long Island with his wife and 6 children, and as of 2018, he was working on a book and film project called Witsec Mafia, aimed at rooting out crime and corruption in the witness relocation program.
And hopefully it'll generate a Senate hearing or something along those lines.
Unfortunately for Jr.'s nephew, John J. Gotti, the life of crime caught up with him in his early 20s. Per the New York Post, he was sentenced to 8 years behind bars in March 2017, after pleading guilty to charges of conspiracy and, quote, 2 counts of possession and intent to sell narcotics. According to NBC, John J. was then separately charged with, quote, 2 counts of conspiracy to commit arson and 2 counts of conspiracy to commit bank robbery. For an unrelated incident in 2012, he then pled guilty in June 2017. The following March, a judge sentenced him to 5 years in prison on an arson charge for the previous year. Angel Gotti is John Sr.'s oldest child and is dedicated to keeping his father's legacy alive. She runs the official Shadow of My Father Facebook page and keeps the conversation about her beloved dad alive on social media. She's also shared a peek at some behind-the-scenes footage of the movie based on her family, Gotti.
Swear it. Swear it on your kid's grave. You won't kill me.
With stints on The Real Housewives of New Jersey, Mob Wives, and of course Growing Up Gotti, John Sr.'s daughter Victoria has been perhaps the most visible member of the family in recent years. She once said of her dad,
"He just always had this charisma about him, that when he walked in a room, everybody's head turned."
Like her brother, Victoria penned a book, the New York Times bestseller The Family of Mine, What It Was Like Growing Up Gotti, and also published a cookbook, Hot Italian Dish, in 2006. In 2019, Victoria narrated her very own biopic, Victoria Gotti, My Father's Daughter.
And what do people say about what you do?
Frank Gotti Agnello is the youngest of Victoria's brood, and with his 2 brothers make up the cast of Growing Up Gotti.
Now I'm going on a blind date too.
Ma, you guys wanna? Ma,
Biggest slot in New York. Give me.
After the show wrapped, Frank published the book Gotti Diet, branded as the program that, quote, turned the fatty Gotti into the hottie Gotti. According to In Touch, as of 2017, Frank works at the family's auto parts shop in Queens, New York. Other than a brief appearance on VH1's But Can They Sing, Victoria's oldest son, Carmine Gotti Agnello Jr., has mostly skirted the spotlight. You know, besides starring on Growing Up Gotti.
You have any regrets?
The fighting, that's about it.
According to In Touch, he works with his brothers at the auto parts store. Newsday reported Agnello, now in his 30s, was arrested and charged in criminal court in 2018 for the crime of operating an automotive scrap and recycling yard without a license. John Gotti Agnello, the middle of Victoria's 3 boys, wed longtime girlfriend Alina Sanchez in 2015.
That half hour in front of the mirror gives me 3 hours in the bedroom later on.
Guests were reportedly required to shell out a minimum of $5,000 as a gift. And according to Us Weekly, the couple raked in a whopping $2.5 million on their big day. While he, of course, worked at the auto parts shop, John's wife gave birth to their son John in 2016. Gotti grandson John Jr. Gotti doesn't work at the family auto parts shop. Instead, he's building a name for himself in the world of MMA, telling Bleacher Report in 2017, "Nobody in my family ever pursued sports to this degree or became a professional athlete. I share the name John Gotti. I want to put it in a positive spotlight and show people that I'm a hard-working kid and I'm dedicated to this game." As of 2019, he boasts a career professional record of 4-0-0. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.